All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure your camera's on and set the dial to S, which stands for shutter speed priority. What that means is that this dial right here will change the shutter speed, and the camera will adjust the aperture and the ISO to make sure that your photograph is exposed correctly and doesn't get too bright or too dark. Right now it's set to 1/4000. Aperture is at 3.5, letting in a lot of light. And the main reason it has to do that and a really high ISO is that the camera is opening and closing so fast that that's not enough time to let light in, so it makes it more open and makes the sensor more sensitive to it. As I dial down this to 1/2000th of a second, the shutter speed's slowing down. And what that means is the faster the objects are and the lower your shutter speed is, the more you're going to get a motion blur. But it also adjusts ISO because the longer the lens is open, the more light that you're letting in, and in order to make sure that it doesn't overexpose, the camera essentially is changing the other two variables to make sure that that doesn't happen. When you're going down all the way to the lowest range, 1 and 15, you'll notice that the aperture is extremely small because the shutter speed is very long, and the ISO has been brought down a lot from what it was at before. So just make sure that when you do this, you're holding the camera as steady as you can, because even a little bit of movement will create some blur in the camera. And also notice too that if you're doing this while looking through the lens, you can see the shutter speed in green, and as you change that, the shutter speed will show you 125, 130, etc.